Emmanuel Wa-Kyendo here on economics. I've got questions. Now, the chart before us compares bond yields of the Kenyan government and the United States government on a specific date, October 16th, 2023. On the vertical axis, the chart illustrates the returns on a given bond. The horizontal axis illustrates maturity in years for a given bond. While yields on American, United States bonds with short-term, medium-term, and long-term maturities are similar, yields on Kenyan bonds with short-term, medium-term, and long-term maturities are vastly different. That is, the yield spread on US bonds is lower than the yield spread on Kenyan bonds. These differentials are as high as they are in a period during which the country is under an IMF program that it is complying with. While the IMF insists that Kenya is complying and is therefore low risk, these yields indicate that the markets maintain that Kenya remains a high risk. Let's take that up again and understand what it means. Now, if the yields on government bonds are similar in the short, medium, and long term, it means like that the market believes that government will be sufficiently solvent in the short, medium, and long term to always meet its payments. That the risk of some kind of a volatility, right, in its ability to make payments on its bonds is low, right? That's why the returns are the same, right? Yields, now yield just refers to the return, right? What the owner of the bond will earn for owning the bond. Governments that are regarded as stable, predictable, and capable of making the repayments will generally have consistent yields. Put it another way, the yield tells you that a government is considered by the market, by all the information available, to be stable. Unstable countries, right, usually have these exhibit these variations in yields. Not only do they have these variations in yields, right, and this is yields according to maturity, but their yields will also be higher than the yields of stable governments. What does this mean? This means that the markets, domestic and international, will be asking for higher returns because of the high risk entailed by holding these government bonds. The markets are basically saying we don't trust that you can make repayments, so we would rather impose a high premium, right? A premium driven by this risk. That's why they call it this risk premium on you than we might on other governments. So the IMF is insisting, right? The IMF's job, to refer back to its mission, is to help reassure the markets that a government is going to make its payments. But in this case, the market has refused to take the IMF's signal. The market is saying, no, we don't believe that you can make these repayments. This could be an indictment of, among other things, the excessive list of conditionalities. You know, when you have almost 80 conditionalities, any single conditionality is a reason for the government to fail to for the IMF to withhold funds that it was going to give to the government, and then for the government to then fail to make these repayments. There's all the IMF program could fail for all manner of reasons. That's what that means. In a sense, the market is saying that they don't like the design of the program. For more on this, read the paper written by economists Maureen Barasa, Kwame Owino, and Peter Doyle called And Then the Floods. The link will be provided. Now, Peter Doyle has himself given trainings, Institute of Economic Affairs members and staff on this very problem and other related issues. Links to these will also be provided. Thank you and have a good evening.